Greetings and welcome again to our sixth review in the Christmas sample series. Today we're going to look at I guess a cigar that most of you probably wouldn't reach for that often, and we'll look into why that is. First of all, let me show you the cigar. It's a Fonseca No. 1. As you can see, it's unique amongst Cuban cigars because it's wrapped in tissue paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. Obviously, I'm not going to light it and smoke it with the tissue paper on there. I'm just going to light it. And while I light it, I'm going to just talk a little bit about this cigar. Now, if you think that all Fonsecas come in tissue paper, you'd be almost correct. I had to go check myself. There's actually one Fonseca release post-revolution that didn't come in tissue paper, and that was the French 2011 regional edition, the amateur. But all other Fonsecas come in tissue paper and been known to do so prior to the Cuban Revolution. Now, I start off this video by saying that it's not a cigar that many of us would reach for usually. In other words, not a go-to cigar. Now, why would I say that? I guess the reason I believe is because Fonseca No. 1, I guess it's one of those cigars that tends to stand on its own as a Cuban cigar. It's a light cigar, light body cigar. I mean, think Rafael Gonzalez, think El Rey del Mundo, think Hoy de Monterrey. More towards the light body. And in regards to flavors, it doesn't tend to be a cigar that is full of big flavor, but it has really pleasant flavors. And depending on your palate, I'm going to discuss what type of flavors people usually categorize it out of them. But before I do that, the Fonseca No. 1, believe it or not, was deleted in 2012, or announced as a deletion, and all of a sudden, about 2-3 years later, comes back into production, and I guess it's not deleted. And not only that, late 2015, 2016, 2017, Fonseca No. 1 have been really, really good, especially in terms of construction. If you've bought a box of Fonseca No. 1s in the last 1 or 2 years, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They tend to be quite reliable in their the way they smoke. And believe it or not, this Fonseca No. 1 is the only cigar that has been included in the past Christmas samplers from past 2 years. So the 2016 Christmas sample series and the 2017 both contained Fonseca's No. 1s, believe it or not. In fact, our host El Presidente had the Fonseca No. 1 2016 in his top 10, and I'm sure that this Fonseca No. 1 is also in his top 10. Now, I love the size. Really love the size. It's a Cazadores size, but you can also call it a Lonsdale. Now, what do I mean by that? If you think of a Monte Cristo No. 1, we're talking about a cigar that's a classic 42 ring gauge. What do I mean by 42 ring gauge? I'm talking about it's 2/3 of an inch round, which cigar enthusiasts, a few traditionalists would categorize as the mythical perfect ring gauge, and I would tend to agree. It's certainly my favorite ring gauge, the 42 ring gauge. This is a 43 ring gauge, but talking about the Monte Cristo number 1, that's a 42 ring gauge by 165 millimeters long, Cervantes. And in the past, the Banos SA had quite a few Lonsdales. But sadly, I think the Monte Cristo number 1 might be the only one left. And that's in regards to regular production. And in regards to this Cazadores size, which is almost the same ring gauge, it's 43 ring gauge, so slightly bigger and slightly shorter, 162 millimeters long. There's only one other regular production cigar that is that size, and that's the Romeo y Julieta Cazadores. Now, I guess some of you would lament me discussing this topic, especially as there have been some great cigars that have been deleted in the last 10 years. And I'm talking about the Diplomaticos number 1, Rafael Gonzalez Lonsdale, the St. Louis Ray Lonsdale. And just recently in 2012, the Sancho Panza Molinas was also deleted. And I think of Vegas Rabena, they had a Lonsdale that was deleted in 2012. And even before that, in the early 2000s, H. Upman had 2 Lonsdales deleted. Partagas had a Lonsdale deleted, or Laranga had a Lonsdale deleted. So these cigars aren't around anymore. But they're a great length. And the reason I say that is because, as I draw on this, just 42, 43 ring gauge, in my opinion, when you draw on it and you smoke on it, it just smokes nice and cool because it's longer. And I think you could just appreciate the flavours just a little bit more. But hey, that's just my opinion. Now, in regards to this cigar, the flavours that you pick up from it. Now, depends if you categorise yourself as an enthusiast to like sweeter flavours, or you might like more the savoury flavours, I guess. I think if you're an enthusiast that likes the sweeter flavours, you might be picking up cream texture, vanilla, marshmallow from a Fonseca No. 1 when you smoke it. If you're more into the savoury flavours, you might pick up more woodiness, earth, leather, maybe a bit floral flavours. One thing that I picked up on before I cut the cigar today, the cold draw, certainly very floral. And for me, for my taste, it's the type of cigar that I wouldn't have as a go-to cigar. That I would have as a change of pace, a very, very pleasant change of pace. The other thing that I wanted to say about it is as I said at the beginning of the review, the flavours aren't like big flavours that really hit you that you would get out of, say, if you're a Partagas Series D4 smoker. You're probably going to gravitate towards that cigar because it's got big flavour straight out from the first puff. The flavour's there to the last puff. This isn't that type of cigar. As I said, it's a lighter, milder cigar, so flavours are way, way more subtle. And for some of you, they may be that subtle that you may struggle to really, how would I put it, is the best way, I guess, for it to hold. Some of you might not be able to hold your interest from beginning to end for 65, 70 minutes because it's so mild. But if you're inclined to enjoy a lighter or milder smoke, and you don't mind subtlety, this is certainly the cigar for you. So I think that's the reason why you would pick this cigar. you would like to give it a go because you want to go for a light, subtle, mild cigar. I'm really enjoying the very light toasted tobacco and marshmallow out of this, and as I said, the floral element to it. Very pleasant. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to come back with another review in the series soon. And when I post this up on the forum, I'll write up a bit more how it turns out. Until next time, happy smoking.